everybody. Hopefully you can see me now. I am having some serious technical difficulties today, and I just tried to restart the video. I'm hoping that it's going to work and it's going to come through, but at the moment, you guys, I am having some troubles trying to get my video to actually work. So happy Tuesday, you guys, for those of you who are able to jump on, who can see the video. Hopefully, I have eyes this time. Yes. All right, you guys, I've been having some technical difficulties for the last like 15 minutes trying to get on here. I apologize for that. It kept buffering and it didn't want to come on. I'm so glad to see you guys all, though. I'm glad that you're here. So happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Laura with Chocolate to Chocolate Designs. If you see a red live button up here, then I'm live right now. I have just been struggling today to get things going on here for some reason. The keyword for tonight is STEM, S-T-E-M. Type STEM in the comments there. And it looks like I now have everything all figured out and we're able to do what we need to do. Yes! Yes! All right, you guys, let me say hi to all my friends. Hello, Betty. Hi, Florine. Hi, Leanne. Thanks for being patient today, you guys, as I restarted and got it to finally load correctly. This was kind of driving me nuts there for a second, trying to figure out what in the world was going on. So let me get to my comments so I can say hello to everybody. Hi, Christine. Hello, Linda. And hopefully this will load for me so I can see the comments. Where are they? Where are they now? All right, here we go. Hi, Wanda K. Hello, Corey. Hi, Deb and Missy. Hello, Ann. Hi, Carolyn. Had trouble joining. It wouldn't let me. Success. It wouldn't let me either. That's the thing. So glad we finally got on here with you guys. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry if I missed your names, but it only lets me scroll up a little bit. Hi, Cindy. Hello to everybody. Hi, Dottie. Hello, Karen. Hi to everybody. Oh, my goodness. We're back, and I've made it happen. So we're here tonight. I hope you guys absolutely love the project that I've got in store for you. If you see a red live up here right now, you're watching live. If not, you're catching the replay. The keyword for tonight is STEM. Type that in there for the list of supplies for all the things that we're using tonight to make this project. So you guys, normally when I do a Club Couture project on my page, then I usually have the keyword as that month of the year. Okay. Tonight I didn't do that because we're going to use the Club Couture project, but in a little bit different way tonight. So if you're not familiar with our Club Couture, let me show you what it is. It's a monthly craft subscription mailed right to your house every single month. Hi, Misty. And this month, this is the transfer right here, you guys. It's got the cute little chickens on there and 2 different patterns. I love, love, love when our Club Couture kit comes with patterns because I feel like there's so much you can do with it. Yes. All right. So you're going to get this. You'll get 2 paste packets right here, Bumblebee and Bark, to do your project. And then you're also going to get this chicken chubby. Okay. Now, when it's all said and done, you can make it look as cute as you want it to look, but here is what we did with ours. And there's so much inspiration and different ways that you can do this. Yeah, just check it. You guys, use your imagination and do it however you would want to. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Lisa Marie. So that is our Club Couture project for this month. But just because it comes in a kit doesn't mean that there aren't umpteen different ways that you can also use this transfer to do other things. And that's what we're going to do tonight, okay? All right, you guys. So STEM is the keyword because we're going to do our very, very, very first autumn project of the year. And I hope you guys are ready for this. We're doing this with our Club Couture project, our Club Couture kit. So I'm going to get my paper out here. We're going to start off by painting a little bit. Hi, Terry. Hello to everybody. Hi, Lisa Marie. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use a different surface tonight. Obviously, we've already done our chicken. Hi, Brenda. And so instead, this time, we're going to be using a 2-pack of our simple squares. They look just like this. and these are available currently on my site. And we're going to be making pumpkins tonight, you guys. Hi, Roseanne. Tomorrow's your surgery day. I had to be at the hospital at 6:30 a.m. Girl, get some sleep. I love you, but the replay will be available, and you can watch it later. I appreciate you, but get some sleep before a big surgery day, girl. Of course, that might be earlier for you. I'm Eastern time. All right, you guys, so we're going to use 2 different colors, actually 3 different colors with this tonight. We're going to start with 2 very, very autumn colors. The first is papaya. I love papaya for a pumpkin orange. I just think that it's a really, really great pumpkin orange. And then the other color we're going to use. Why did I not think of that? The other color I was planning on using we can't use because it's ink and it's not paste. That's okay. I was going to use Well Traveled, you guys, which is our new color of the month. And I didn't even think about the fact that it's an ink and not a paste. So instead, we're going to go ahead and use Bumblebee, which is the color that comes with the club kit. But we're going to tone this down a little bit by adding some bark paste to it so that it's not quite that bright, bright, bright yellow. Actually, let's add camel to it instead of bark, so that it's not that bright, bright, bright yellow that you would see in the summertime. Okay, hi Janice, hi Denise. Probably won't get much sleep your Eastern time too. Girl, try. That's okay. It's okay. Hopefully I can make you laugh and have a good night, right? That's my goal. Because I'm probably not going to mess up, but maybe I will. Thank you, Ro. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead, because I didn't think about Well Traveled being an ink. I don't know why. Just a little bit scatterbrained sometimes. That's just me on a regular basis. We're going to add some Bumblebee right to this color tray here. Don't know why I got 2 color trays out. I do, but I'm not ready for the other one yet. And we're going to do Bumblebee, and we're going to mix this with a little bit of camel just to make it more like that Well Traveled color, okay? So I'm doing, I don't know, 2/3 Bumblebee, 1/3 camel, and mixing these together. Hopefully I get the color that I want. Yes, to get more of a saffrony color. More of a saffrony color to use for autumn. And you guys can see how that just turned that a lot darker. And it's nowhere near as bright. Always live the puppy you used to say hi. It's so, huh? Oh, you're talking to Sissy. Okay. Oh, man. Hi, Annette. Hello to everybody. Still fairly new to all this. Why does it not work well with ink? Okay, there's a great question. All right, you guys. So the paste that we use, there's a different, see, here's the ink. It looks like this. It's got a white thing on the lid. And then we've also got paste, okay? There's 2 different formulas that we have. So when you're doing a project like this, and it's on a surface that you don't want to, that you're not going to need to wash, okay? Like wood surfaces, cardboard, paper surfaces. If you're going to do, oh geez Louise, chalkboards, things like that. If you don't plan to put it in the washing machine or in your dishwasher, then you're going to use paste because it goes on smooth and then it dries hard so that it's semi-permanent, okay? The word for tonight is stem, S-T-E-M. However, with ink, it will go on smooth. It'll dry to the touch, but it needs to be heat set in, and it's formulated to be on a fabric or on a mug, and to take that heat to set it in and be permanent. It will run in the rain. If it's mixed with water, it'll run, things like that. Thank you, Linda. That's actually, I made this when we were at Camp Chalk, and that's one of the transfers that's coming up on Thursday this week, you guys, and that's the new surface. So ink is for textiles and paste is for everything else. For everything else, okay? All right, so there's our Bumblebee Camel mixture. right there. We're going to paint one of these with with that mixture, and the other one with papaya, which is this gorgeous, gorgeous orange color. Let me just get some brushes out here, and I'm going to do these not perfectly, but that's okay. So I'm painting right out of my jars. My jars are pretty new. When painting, you can add water to it if your paste seems to be too thick to paint. Yeah. But it might be a little bit, it might be a little thinner if you add water to it. All right. So I'm just going to give this a quick coat of paint. Oh, I got some orange on this one. Oh, darn. Oh, darn. And I try to do nice, good brush strokes going back and forth so that I don't end up with a big brush mark right in the center of it. Oh, shoot. I am bound to get it on my hands, because that happens sometimes. And it's already drying because of the air conditioner being on in my house. So just going back and forth and covering that piece right there. All right. The orange one is done. That's papaya in the orange. Where did I get my earrings? I have no idea. These ones I've had for a very, 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 very long time, and I'm not sure where they came from. Oh, Carol, I don't know what happened tonight, but I got on 15 minutes late because Facebook was messing up. So I don't know what happened. But I made it, and I'm here, and I'm glad you guys are all here too. The keyword for tonight is STEM, you guys, S-T-E-M. Let's dry the orange one up first. Mona's in the house! And then we're going to put this one aside for just a second while we paint the other one. That is a combination of, it's your favorite color for pumpkins too? You like the papaya? I think it's great. I think it's a fantastic color. All right, so that one's nice and dry now. And then we're gonna bring this one over here. We're gonna paint this with that bumblebee camel mixture right there that we made, similar to like a saffron color, I think. And just do the same exact thing. And I probably mixed way too much. But that's okay. And you guys, I don't need to have full coverage on this too. Remember, these are pumpkins. And so we're actually going to distress these just a little bit. How did you do the scallop on? So that scallop piece actually was something that was given to us at Camp Chalk to use to make this sign. And, well, I can tell you that we have requested for that to become an accessory that you can purchase on the site. We've requested that. I do not know if they were able to fulfill that request or not, but there is a possibility that the scallop piece might be an upcoming addition to our website. A chance, you guys. Don't hold me to that. Just letting you know it's been requested. Was it? It's wooden. Oh, Sandy, I wish I could go do that. Girl. All right, there's this one done with that saffron-y color that we made with bumblebee and camel mixed together. Well, I bet you're enjoying the pedicure, aren't you? That sounds fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So these are our two colors that we're going to be making pumpkins in tonight. Now, we're going to put a transfer down on top of this, and when we do that, the smoother our surface, the better our transfer is going to be with the transfers, you guys. The better our image is going to transfer over onto our surface. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my little sander with very, very, very fine sandpaper on top of this image. Now, this is not the finest sandpaper that I've got. And I want the finest, which for me is, I believe, this 400. I think it's the 400. Yeah, I think it's the 400, you guys. I did, Carol, what did we do last night? Yes, I did sell the one from last night. Hi, Wanda. All right, you guys, we're just going to take our little sandy black here. I want to stay with the way that I did my, my paint, though, so that it's got the grains in there to kind of look more pumpkin-y, if that makes sense, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this a light sand over the entire thing, just to smooth out any little bit of raised parts where we've got that paste. You had a crazy day today. Me too, girl. So I got to tell you guys something while I'm doing this. Last week before I left, Maya started the summer rec this week. She said, oh, awesome. Last week before I left, I got an email from the company. And anybody who's a designer should have gotten the same email. And, okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and do my corners and my edges and make these just a little bit more sanded down than the rest of it. Just because I like that look of having it a little bit more distressed on my edges. So this email from the company was an update of our policies and procedures, the rules that we have to follow as a designer with Chalk Couture, okay? And as I'm reading through these policy and procedure changes that take effect August 1st, one thing that I have realized is that I basically will not be able to do things the way that I've done them for the last 5 years after August 1st. So I am trying to figure out a whole new way of doing things. So basically, you guys, a lot of you have been with me for some live sales, right? And some of you guys, I know Pam loves when I do a live sale. Hi, Danielle. Trying to keep it together. My 18-year-old is traveling from Idaho to Germany tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Well, definitely send in prayers your way, Danielle. Yeah, lots of pages, you guys. It was like 32 pages of a new FAQ or new policies and procedures. But one of those states, and this is a really good thing, you guys, a really good thing, that as of August 1st, live sales on Facebook are no longer allowed. Yes, definitely read it. Definitely read it, because there's a lot of changes in there. So there is a platform that it's going to be allowed for us to do sales. And you guys, really, I think it's a great thing, because with Facebook, you have algorithms, which really makes it to where it's not equal and fair to everybody who participates. And so it's just the way that it goes sometimes. So they want to get away from, they want us to move to a platform that's a little bit more equal and fair to everybody. And so we're all going to have to move over to Whatnot to do sales. You know, to do our live sales, our inventory sales and things like that. Because Whatnot is fair and it's not based on algorithm at all. Okay? So, you guys, I have spent most of my day today trying to set up a Whatnot page and figure out how to Whatnot. Because I've been planning all year long to do a Christmas in July sale. And now I got to figure out how to do it over on Whatnot. You hate Whatnot. Well, girl, it's going to have to be the way that it goes. It's going to have to be what it is. It's not always fair. See, I got to figure out more about this. It's got to be more fair than Facebook, though, because Facebook has got algorithms. They make it to where it's not exactly the first person who comments. It's the first person who shows up for me in the comments, which could be algorithm-based, which isn't always fair to everybody. So Whatnot is a different platform, and it's an app that you would need, that all of you guys who want to participate in live sales would have to get. What was that? You can still do it. The policy doesn't change until August. Yes. But I need to get it figured out fast. I think it's more fair than Facebook. Honest to goodness, you guys, I do. So I'm gonna try to do my sale over on that platform. It also makes the entire thing easier because there's not invoicing and shipping. They do all of that stuff for you. And so it can make my life a ton easier once I get it figured out. So I've been trying to figure it out. You purchased from them? All right, you guys, we're using surface wax over top of this now so that this stays here and that color doesn't disappear off of there. Love Whatnot. It's so addicting. So I'm going to be working on getting my Whatnot set up and then also TikTok, you guys, because Facebook is going to allow some designers to do an affiliate TikTok shop. Better than Facebook, I have a problem with, you're supposed to get, when you reach a certain level, so a lot of you guys are already signed up on Whatnot, which is fantastic. If you're not, please go to the website or go to the app and download the app, because it's going to be, you could never do live sales in Canada. You're right, because you can't ship cross-border. So you are right about that. All right, we're going to give these each a good buff now that we've got that surface wax on there. Okay, are you guys ready for this? So not everything is a bidding. Yes. Being on the app is free. The only time you pay for anything is when you sell it. There's a seller's fee. All right, here we go, you guys. This is the transfer for the July Club Couture kit. And we're going to open this up and we're going to do 2 different pumpkins with this transfer. Now, I've got my colors here. We've got papaya on one. And on the other one, we have that bumblebee camel mix. Yes, I do know Brittany and Mark. Yes, I do. We've got that camel and bumblebee mixture. I'm going to go ahead and take this same mixture here. And then I'm going to grab some papaya. Yes, she does. I got to figure out how I do it. How do I do it? And she will help me if I need help, for sure. All right, we're going to add some papaya right there, and then we're going to put just a little bit of some bark with each one. Shelly, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I don't think so, because it's still me that has to do the shipping. All right, we're going to add a little bit of bark. Not too much, Laura. I don't have TikTok yet either. Hi, Jennifer. Love you too, girl. Oh, I think I got too much there. All right, a little bit of bark to each one of these just to darken them up a little bit so that our pattern shows through. I don't want it to be papaya on papaya. I want it to be papaya on a little bit darker papaya. Also, you also have to do giveaways like follower giveaways and buyer giveaways, follower. Oh, I do giveaways anyhow. That doesn't bother me at all. I just got to figure out what I'm supposed to do on there. I'm sure that she is. There's a lot of people on there. I just haven't gotten there yet. And I need to, you guys. I got to keep up with the times or I'm going to fall behind. And I got to be there to be able to teach all of you who are on my team that want to learn this stuff, how to do this stuff. So I got to figure it out. All right, so this one right here, let's add a little bit more bark to each one. I don't think that I got it quite dark enough. Hi, Logan. Yeah, I do giveaways and surprises and things. A little bit more bark for each one. Just felt like it wasn't quite dark enough. Wasn't quite enough of a difference. There we go. That's better. So we're just changing the tone of the color a little bit. All right, so that's definitely darker than what that is. Ah! I look different. A little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, I still don't think that this is quite dark enough for it to not blend in. Oh, I know. Oh, there we go. Now I've got it, I think. Now I've got it. So papaya, it takes a little bit more bark than the other color did. All right, you guys, let's add some transfer on here. Let's add some paste on here, and let's get these pumpkins done, okay? Yep, today's the last day to order to get the $20 back in product credit. If you place a $75 order on the site, you get a bounce back for $20 in product credit that you can use starting on Thursday. What else is today the last day of? The last chance sale. Today's the last day. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and give this a good fuzz, which means that we're taking it to a terry cloth towel, and we're just going to put this on here a couple of times and pick up some lint on the back just to lessen that adhesive a little bit, okay? So the rule of thumb when it comes to fuzzing your transfer is this. The more porous your surface, the less you need to fuzz, okay? So if you're doing a garden stone, you don't need to fuzz at all. If you're doing a t-shirt, you don't need to fuzz at all. If you're doing glass, you need to fuzz like crazy. So the smoother the surface, the less porous the surface, the more fuzz you need to add. All right, let's go ahead and do this pattern. Oh, see, and that already stuck to that really good. How did the day go for your son today? Did the grandparents keep up with all the plans? Yes, they did. He called me today and told me all about all the things he did with Grandma and Grandpa. And they completed everything on the list, and they were able to keep up with him. And Grandma caught a fish, but he did not. He's coming home on Saturday. Saturday I got to drive. I'm going to meet them. I'm going to go 2 hours, and they're going to come an hour and a half. And then we're going to switch kids on Saturday. All right, so I've got my transfer on there with that pattern. I'm going to do the same thing with the other transfer with that checkered pattern on the orange one. And just laying that down and pressing that down really well to get all the air bubbles out. And then we're going to go ahead and use a squeegee and squeegee these different colors right through. So we want the orange on the orange, and we want the saffron one on the saffron one. And you guys, this is going to be easy peasy. Okay, so here's our orange color that we mixed. It was papaya mixed with bark, and it's going to be darker than the papaya that we had down that we painted with. So every place where you can see your surface is where your color is going to go, and wherever you see teal is where it's stopping your color from going through. And you're just going to squeegee that right on, and then go over it with your squeegee again and get out all of those air bubbles. And you guys, we have, oh, I need to dry it though. We have a checkered pumpkin. You guys see how the color is just, once it dries, it's going to be slightly darker than that, but it just gives it a little bit of a, pattern on there. With that slight color variation, adding just that little bit of bark to that papaya to change it up, but not making it stand out, like ridiculously stand out, right? Just a bit. We're going to do the same thing with the other one. Using this mixture. So this is Bumblebee, Camel, and Bark. Have 3 orders from CC that shipped today. I'm waiting for one to ship, and it's kind of driving me crazy. So you guys, our mystery bundle reveal is tomorrow. And I have a little bit of bad news to share with some of you. I got my package last week. And when I got it, it was damaged. And the whole corner of my box was busted open. And 5 jars of paste that I had ordered to go in mystery bundles were missing. Were missing out of my box. So I had to do a replacement order, but it has not shipped. So, I gotta figure out what to do about that. I might have to wait for it to come in, and then, or hopefully it'll come in soon, and overnight your packages or something. We'll see what I can do. But so far it hasn't shipped out yet, and I need it to ship like now. All right, here we go, you guys. Oh, I love this one. Look at our pumpkin pattern. Oh, Mary, I hear you. I love this the summer too. I'm not ready for fall either. But it's time to start crafting for fall, you guys. If you are crafters and you do workshops and things like that, now's the time to get started. So I'm going to give you guys ideas. Look how cool those look. Let's get these dried up real quick, because the colors should dry a little bit darker so that you can see it a little better. Put a picture of the paste in the package, then ship when it arrives. Well, if it's going to be here like, I don't know, Monday, then I can just boost the shipping. Oh, you guys, these look fantastic. All right, Deb. All right, so there's our first one. There's the yellow one. And there's the orange one. You can definitely see the pattern in there. And how cool those look. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding some embellishments to these to make these look like pumpkins. But before I even start there, we do have these little things here that are called simple shape bases. And these are available in my site, or on my site. And they're meant to hold your these simple shapes, okay? If I can get it open. And I'm going to show you what they're meant to do, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use them. All right. So they have a slot in the side, and the slot is tilted. And so you want the forward tilt is the front, okay? And they're meant to hold your shape just like this. Okay? And that's fine and dandy if that's how you want to do it. But that's just not how I want to do it. Okay? So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my shape right to this so that it will stand up on its own. And then you won't see that right there, but you've still got a full-size pumpkin, okay? Or you still got a stand-up pumpkin, a stand-up pumpkin. Now, I think before I do that, I want to add just a little bit. I want to distress these just a little. Just a little with some wax. Because I think it'll look even better. Just a bit. With some of my bear wax. So this stuff is from Home Depot. Home Depot, and this is just it's called decorative finishing wax, you guys. And I've had this same jar for the entire 5 years that I've done with the chalk. Probably 4 years, and I barely even skim the surface of it. Because a little bit goes a long way. So I'm just going to take this stuff here, put it around my edges, and then use my finger to just kind of blend that in a little bit. It just gives it a little bit more definition, a little bit more character. And kind of, I don't know, I think especially with the autumn projects, the more you have that little bit of, I don't even know if you guys can see it in the camera, but the more you have that little bit of distressing, the better I think that it looks. Personal preference, though. Makes it look more fresh from the patch. There we go. There we go. I don't know if, can you guys see the edges on that? How that just gave it a little bit of, darkened up my edges a little bit. I like that look. I have a little bit too much there. It shadows it a bit. More fresh from the patch. There we go. There we go. All right, we're good there. I just had to do it, you guys. I had to do it. All right, let's go ahead and glue these bases on here. And then we're going to start decorating. Oh, I ran out of battery. had it plugged in and then I ran out of battery. Good, it's still hot. Good, we still have glue. All right. Must have just ran out. Okay, so I'm just going to take this base and add some hot glue right to the front of it. And then I'm going to set it down on the table. And with it set down on the table, I'm just going to line that right up and give it a push. That way I know for sure that it's going to stand up on the table just like that, okay? And we're going to do the same thing with each of these. You guys, I'm so afraid that my video is going to shut off again. Hello, everybody. All right, so now we've got two, oh, my glue leaked out the bottom. So now we've got two standing squares. We're making some spookly pumpkins tonight. Okay, let's start putting some embellishments on here. So I do have some cinnamon sticks that we're going to use for the stem. I love using cinnamon sticks, both because they look like a stem for a pumpkin, but also because they smell really, really, really good. This one is way longer than what I need, so I'm hoping I can use some wire cutters to cut it down, and that works just fine. Thank you. So we're just going to glue these little pieces of cinnamon stick right to the back and right in the center of that square. I got to look at it to try to get it centered. All right, so they're looking more and more like pumpkins with everything we do, right? All right. Oh, I didn't close up my jar. All right, now you guys, keep my stems from my little pumpkins. There you go, to craft with. You can dry out actual pumpkin stems from last year and use those to craft with. Yes, you can. Paper bags also make really great stems. All right, now I'm going to show you guys my favorite. My favorite thing to use for pumpkin stems. Or for pumpkins. My favorite thing for pumpkins that I get at Hobby Lobby, and there are two different ones, but you can't always get both of them. Usually one year you'll find one and the next year you'll find the other, and they kind of rotate back and forth. So let me show you what I'm talking about. These are made by Natural Brilliance, and they're floral stems from the Hobby Lobby. So they look just like this. It's a branch with a bunch of leaves on it. Bunch of little leaves on there. And what I love about this thing is that each one of these little pieces is wired and works as perfect little tendrils to make pumpkins, okay? I love, love, love using this. Some years you can find this one, and some years you'll find the one that has the green leaves. And it still has these pieces, but not as many. But it has the leafy greens that also match this, okay? Hobby Lobby is where I get these. They are my favorite. Both of them work fantastic for making pumpkins. And then I keep every little bit from every little one. So I have a couple left over from last year that have just a little bit left on them. Let's use these up first before I dig into these ones. You guys, have any of you guys ever found these? I know Amanda just got some when she was at the Hobby Lobby with me. So let's go ahead and start just cutting off all these pieces. Oh, you know what I wanted to do first? You guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we start adding any of this stuff, we're going to give this thing a raffia bow. That was supposed to be my next step. You guys, stem is the key word. Stem is the key word. So we're just going to use some regular raffia. It's about the only way to get it out of there. Hi, Linda. And I'm just going to take 3 or 4 pieces of raffia and we're going to make a bow with it. Nothing spectacular, you guys. Just like how you tie your shoes. But before I pull this thing tight, no, we're just going to do it. We'll glue it. Why can't I pull it tight? I missed a piece. Hold on, I missed a piece. All right, so we've got a cute little raffia bow tied just like shoes. I cut off all my weird pieces. Your bows never turn out right, and then we can just cut off some of this excess. And we're gonna, each one of these is going to have a little raffia bow to go with it. Okay, so just like that, a little raffia bow. And then we're going to add our greenery underneath the raffia bow. It's going to make it easier to kind of put that where we want it to be once we've got the bow down. I'm doing good, Linda. How are you? Getting a little sleepy, but doing good. I keep freezing. That's what I was afraid of. Hi, Dale. That's what I was afraid of when I finally got the video to work, Carol. I was afraid that I'd be freezing all night long. That makes sense. There we go. Couple of little raffia bows. We're still going to get it done. That makes sense why that it's not freezing for you, Teresa. Okay, good. Y'all are just watching intently tonight. All right, here we go, you guys. Our piece of raffia right up there. Oh, how cute. A little bit of hot glue, and I'm putting that right at the stem. Ooh, that dripped. And look at that. How cute. I make those bows look easy. I had to tie it 3 times to get it to work. Linda. You just tie it like your shoes. Oh, they're already starting to look so good. All right, let's start cutting off some of this stuff. Now you're gonna want wire cutters to cut into all of this. So let's go ahead and just start with a couple of pieces of wire off of here, and we're gonna make some tendrils. So these are just the wire pieces. You're freezing, but I think it's on my end. My internet has been bad for 2 hours. Couldn't even watch the 8th and 9th something. I'm gonna grab a paintbrush. And we're just going to wrap this around the paintbrush to make some tendrils for this. Slide that off, and then you've got these tendril pieces here. Hopefully you guys can see those. Little springy wire pieces that we can use for our pumpkins. These are my favorite. And you can use thicker pieces and thinner pieces. And that way you've got just different tendrils going on in different sizes and different thicknesses. These ones right here are thinner. So let's grab a couple of these. Your arthritis fingers get in the way. That would make sense. You can also use different size paintbrushes to make these looser or tighter, like bigger or smaller. We're going to give 2 to each one. Hi, Kathy. So you guys, the keyword for tonight is STEM. Type STEM in the comments, okay? There we go. So we've got 4 tendrils going on now, or we will. And then we're going to cut off some of these greenery pieces. Thank you. These beautiful little greenery pieces that come on here. I think that these are gorgeous. And I think that they just scream pumpkin every time. One for each. Let's go 2 for each. Thank you. Oh, cut that one a little bit short. All right. And then we're going to give them some leaves as well. So let's go ahead and take these leaves off of here. And I'm going to grab some leaves from the other one as well. From my new stem. Just trying to pick and see which ones I want. Probably these. All right. So they each look a little bit different, but they're still going to look very much similar when we're done with them. All right. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to tuck our stems, our leaves right up in there like that. Oh, look how cute that is. Oh, this is going to be adorable. A little bit of hot glue. And I'm going to tuck it right there underneath my bow and just kind of pull it to the side a little bit. Isn't that so cute? Oh, it's falling down. Lay it down and let it dry. So I'm doing the leaf part first. Should I make them go opposite ways? Let's do that. And I'm going back and forth just so that I can let that glue dry a little bit. And then we can put our tendrils on here. And I kind of want these sticking out both sides. So we're going to tuck those right in the top. Not the tendrils, the extra, the leafy parts. The smaller leaves. And just let that set. Again, let that glue dry out while you work on the other one. This is why sometimes it's good to do 2 projects at a time, like 2 of the same thing. So you can let the glue dry on one while you work on the other. But I did see, do you have tiny pine cones? I do have some pine cones. I don't know how tiny they are though. But I do have some tiny pine cones. Thank you. I used a cinnamon stick for the stem. Gotta find a good spot for the glue to stick right there. Thank you, Dale. All right, and then we're going to add our tendrils. Shall we add some cinnamon or some pine cones to this? Do you think? I think this is looking super, super cute. I almost think we need a flower of some sort, though. Can you guys see all the detail? I hope you can, because I'll tell you what, sometimes it's hard to see with my big face behind you. Thank you. Sunflower or a button? I do have some sunflowers. And I've got some other ones too. All right, let's look. No sound? Oh, for goodness sakes, Facebook. You're killing me here. All right, let's look at my flowers. I know that I do have some sunflowers. We can put a sunflower on the one, but I think I want to distress it just a little bit. Oh, I have this yellow flower. I think I want to use this one instead. The sunflower is a little bit too bright. And then let's put one of those on the other one. Hi, Noemi. All right, you guys, we're going to finish this off really fast with a little flower. Yes! An orange flower on one. And a yellow flower on the other. Now they're... I want to do the same flower, I think. So we're going to distress both of these just so that it matches. It's freezing up for me too, you guys. You can hear me in Canada. Okay, good. Small. Oh, I have mums. Oh, for goodness sakes. They just might be packed away though. Let me see. Because I've got these ones, but I know I've got mums too. And they would probably match this perfectly. I just have too many bins that I don't know what's in what anymore. And I keep moving stuff around. I think my little mums are still put away. Hi, I'm doing good, Noemi. How are you? Give me just a second, you guys. Let me check and see if I've got more over here. I don't. I have not yet unpacked all of my my autumn stuff. So I have a lot of those paper flowers for sure. So we're going to use these ones because I don't know where my mums are at the moment. They are probably still packed up with all of my autumn stuff because we're just getting started for the year. Just barely getting started. So we're going to use the same wax that we used on our pumpkins. And I'm just going to use this to darken up these flowers just a little bit. It's not working as well as I was hoping for. But I still think it's super, super cute. There we go. Hi, Pam. Your mums are in heaven. I still have to get all my patriotic stuff taken care of. You guys can get my autumn and Christmas stuff out, but I haven't gotten there yet. All right, let's glue this thing on here. We're going to call this good. And I think it's going to be beautiful. Hi, Zany. How are you doing? All right, it doesn't quite want to go on there because of where I want to put it, and it's wanting to stick up too far. So we're going to just add a little bitty block behind it. To elevate that flower so that we're not pressing it down too far into everything. I feel like I'm going fast now. All right, you guys. Hi, Becky. Doing fine, just been busy at work. Can't make Christmas in July craft party. Oh, how exciting! You guys, I think that turned out super, super cute. I'm going to do the same thing over here and just add that little block underneath it just to elevate that flower slightly. So that it doesn't get buried underneath all of the leaves. And everything else that we've got going on for this pumpkin. And and the bow. Thank you. This one doesn't match quite as well, but I'm okay with it. I still think we've got a very, very, very adorable set of pumpkins. And our first autumn project done. And you guys, one more way that you can use that Chalk Couture transfer for the month of July in putting the patterns right on some pumpkins and just turning them into the cutest little shelf sitter pumpkins. Look at those! Thank you, Dale. All right, you guys, that's our project for tonight. I hope that you absolutely love these. I know it took some time to get them done, but I think that they turned out so, so cute. I love this project. I love making pumpkins. And you can make a pumpkin with pretty much anything at all. And that's the beauty of it. So you guys, there's our square pumpkins. I'm going to head out now. You guys, there are a couple of specials. Make sure you type in that word STEM to get the link for all of the stuff we're using tonight. If you want the transfer to make these patterns, our Club Couture is the only way to get them. So you be a member of Club Couture to get that particular transfer to do these patterns on there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything, please send me a message and I will respond first thing in the morning. I'm going to get cleaned up and I'm going to head to bed. You guys are fantastic and wonderful, and I love you all so much. Mystery Bundle Reveal is coming up tomorrow afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow night for another craft adventure. We'll see what I've got in store. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.